Hey, welcome to World Code Updates. August 2025, headlines blazed across the nation. Manila unveils the Spratlys' longest runway. The Philippines boldly challenges Beijing's dominance in the region, sending shockwaves through the international community and capturing the attention of both allies and rivals. On the remote and windswept island of Pag-asa, the Philippines completed a bold feat of engineering, a new extended runway, now the longest in the entire Spratly archipelago. This achievement was not just a matter of infrastructure but a symbol of national pride and determination. This was more than construction. It was a declaration of sovereignty in the world's most contested waters. Every meter of concrete poured was a statement that the Philippines would not be intimidated or pushed aside. The message to Beijing was unmistakable. The Philippines is here to stay and will defend its territory with resolve. Soldiers stood guard, their presence a living testament to the nation's commitment. For years, China dominated island building in the South China Sea, transforming reefs into military outposts and expanding its reach with massive dredging operations. Now the Philippines had made its mark, staking its claim with unmistakable clarity. The new runway stood as a beacon of hope and resilience for the Filipino people. The runway fundamentally shifted the strategic landscape, giving Manila new power to project its presence and protect its interests in the West Philippine Sea. With this, the Philippines could respond faster to emergencies, support its troops, and assert its rights more effectively. For Filipinos, Pag-asa is not just a speck on the map, it's home to a determined civilian community. Families live, work, and dream here, undeterred by the tensions that swirl around them. The new runway, hangar, and control tower promise better supplies, improved medical care, and a stronger connection to the mainland. For the residents, these upgrades mean safer lives and new opportunities. The world watched closely, aware that every development here could tip the balance in a volatile region. The South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade, with trillions of dollars in goods passing through each year. Any escalation here has global consequences, threatening the flow of commerce and the stability of international relations. Many saw the Philippine move as a necessary counter to China's expansionism and a bold assertion of international law. Diplomats and analysts debated the implications while the world's eyes remained fixed on these contested waters. The new runway was not an act of aggression but a line drawn in defense, a stand for sovereignty and stability. It was a message of peace but also of unwavering resolve. On Pag-asa, the Philippines made clear, this is our home, and we will defend it. The sun sets over the island but a new dawn rises for the West Philippine Sea, fueled by hope, courage, and the unbreakable spirit of its people. The new Rancudo airfield on Pag-asa Island stretches 1.8 kilometers, now a state-of-the-art facility. It can handle large military transports and advanced fighter jets, giving the Philippines credible air defense deep in the Spratlys. A new hangar and modern control tower allow aircraft to be stationed and maintained on the island. These upgrades serve both military and civilian needs, transforming Pag-asa into a forward operating base and a lifeline for its residents. Reliable flights mean better access to food, medicine, and economic opportunities. As the only Spratly Island with a permanent civilian population, Pag-asa stands as proof of the Philippines' long-standing claim. Manila's investment is more than military. It's about nurturing a community and reinforcing sovereign rights through peaceful development. The Spratly Islands are a strategic prize, rich in fish, oil, and gas, and vital to the Philippines' survival. Control here means food security, economic growth, and national stability. The new facilities on Pag-asa are a direct investment in protecting these interests. The Spratlys also sit astride critical global shipping lanes. Whoever controls them wields enormous influence. The main conflict is between Manila and Beijing. China's sweeping claims were rejected by an international tribunal in 2016, affirming Philippine rights. Yet, China has intensified its activities, harassing Filipino fishermen and resupply missions. Pag-asa is now the front line of Philippine defense, a physical stand for its legal victory. The upgraded runway allows a persistent presence, challenging China's control. Pag-asa has become a symbol of defiance and a bastion for the rules-based order. Since 2013, China has dramatically transformed once remote reefs into massive, militarized islands in the Spratly archipelago. What were once just specks in the sea are now sprawling outposts, bristling with military infrastructure and changing the face of the South China Sea. Mischief, Subi, and Fiery Cross reefs now host long runways, aircraft hangars, advanced radar arrays, and deep-water harbors, together forming a strategic triangle that allows China to monitor and control vast stretches of ocean. These heavily fortified bases are equipped with surface-to-air missiles, anti-ship missiles, and electronic jamming systems, creating a powerful anti-access bubble that can deter or disrupt foreign military operations. For the Philippines, these island fortresses represent a direct and growing threat. Mischief Reef, for example, lies just 250 kilometers from Palawan, well within striking distance of Philippine territory and vital sea lanes. China uses these fortified islands to project military power, enforce its sweeping maritime claims, and intimidate neighboring countries, altering the balance of power in the region. Economically, these outposts help China dominate lucrative fishing grounds and energy resources, giving it leverage over regional economies and access to vital supplies. Diplomatically, the islands have created a new status quo, making it increasingly difficult for other nations to challenge or reverse China's territorial gains and complicating international negotiations. The speed and scale of construction have devastated fragile marine ecosystems, destroying coral reefs and threatening biodiversity that local communities depend on. This militarization directly violates Xi Jinping's 2015 promise not to militarize the islands, eroding trust and fueling suspicion among China's neighbors and the wider international community. As a result, China's actions have heightened fears about its long-term intentions in the South China Sea, prompting regional militarization and increased international naval patrols in response. The contrast is stark. China's sprawling artificial islands, massive feats of engineering rising from the sea, bristling with military infrastructure and advanced technology. These islands, built at breakneck speed, have transformed the South China Sea's landscape, signaling Beijing's ambitions to dominate the region. In comparison, the Philippines has just a single upgraded runway on Pag-asa Island. China's runways are not only longer and more advanced, but also capable of hosting large military aircraft and supporting sustained operations. Its bases are more numerous, heavily armed and constantly expanding, with warships and missile systems on standby. But Pag-asa stands apart. It's a natural island, home to a small but resilient civilian community, where families live, children play, and daily life unfolds despite the tensions. This civilian presence gives Manila a stronger legal and moral standing in the eyes of the world, reinforcing its claim under international law. The Philippine upgrades are defensive in nature, focused on improving living conditions and ensuring the safety of its residents. These efforts are aimed at protecting its people, securing its territory, and maintaining a peaceful presence in contested waters. In contrast, China's bases are designed for power projection, enabling rapid deployment of forces and extending its reach far beyond its shores. The Pag-asa runway, meanwhile, is a lifeline for self-defense and a symbol of Philippine sovereignty, allowing quick response to emergencies and threats. This facility enables the Philippines to monitor its waters, protect its fishermen from harassment, and resupply distant outposts, ensuring a continued presence. It's a tool for asserting rights and upholding international law, not for expanding territory or provoking conflict. This crucial distinction shapes international opinion, helping Manila rally support from allies and partners across the globe. The Philippines can't match China's overwhelming military might or resources, but it can make itself a tougher target, a classic porcupine defense, bristling with resolve and ready to resist. Upgrades like Pag-asa's runway raise the cost of aggression for Beijing, making any hostile move riskier and more complicated. It's proof that smaller nations with determination, strategic upgrades, and the support of allies can push back against larger powers, defending their sovereignty and standing tall on the world stage. The US-Philippine alliance, once dormant, is now revitalized in response to China's assertiveness. Anchored by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, both nations are committed to each other's defense, including in the South China Sea. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, allows US troops to rotate through Philippine bases and fund upgrades at key sites. New EDCA locations, especially in Palawan and northern Luzon, boost joint training and rapid response. The alliance is mutually beneficial. The Philippines gains security and technology, while the US secures a vital regional foothold. This renewed partnership sends a clear message to Beijing. Aggression will be met with unity and resolve. Together, the US and Philippines are building a stronger, more flexible defense for the Indo-Pacific. Palawan and Balabac have become central to the US-Philippine defense strategy. Upgraded air bases in these locations enable rapid joint patrols and responses across the West Philippine Sea. Balabac, at a key maritime choke point, extends the reach of both air forces and improves crisis response. Pre-positioned supplies at these sites allow sustained operations without distant supply chains. These bases deter aggression, signaling that any hostile action will meet swift, sustained resistance. The strategy now favors a network of agile, distributed sites over a few large bases, making the alliance more resilient. Palawan and Balabac are not just for Philippine defense, they support regional security and U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy. These unsinkable carriers are pillars of a modern, adaptive alliance. The U.S.-Philippine military partnership is part of the broader First Island Chain strategy, stretching from Japan to Borneo. This chain forms a natural barrier, crucial for containing China's maritime ambitions. Strengthening defense along this chain, especially in the Philippines, is a top U.S. priority. New EDCA sites plug strategic gaps left after the U.S. left Subic and Clark in 1992. The goal is not just containment, but a resilient network of alliances. The U.S. encourages closer ties among allies, Philippines, Japan, Australia, through joint exercises and intelligence sharing. The Philippines is now a key node in a multilateral security architecture. Together, these nations uphold a free, open Indo-Pacific, resisting domination by any single power. The new Pag-asa runway and deepened U.S. alliance mark a turning point for Indo-Pacific security. The Philippines has shifted from passive protest to assertive defense of its sovereignty. These upgrades create a stronger counterbalance to China's dominance and enhance regional security. The world sees a clear signal gray zone tactics and expansionism will face resistance. For the U.S., a stronger presence in the Philippines is vital for upholding the rules-based order. The alliance is a cornerstone of America's Indo-Pacific strategy and a model for collective security. The new runway is more than concrete. It's a symbol of resolve and a catalyst for a renewed alliance. The future of the region may be decided on islands like Pag-asa, where sovereignty and stability are defended.